It's crazy that I'm making a video on this because I did not expect it at all. I was just watching it randomly, and like I don't remember what was going on. I was watching it, and Violet was there. I don't remember what she was doing. I think she was on her phone or something. But like I was watching it, and then she was talking about something, and I was just like, "Wait, Violet, this show, Invincible, this shit is like really good." And she's like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like I was just like, I think I was high too, so I was just like, there was like this shock. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. There's a lot going on, and I felt like the only way to truly effectively talk about it is to just go through it, show it, talk about it. Okay, so first I'm gonna try to do stuff that's like not spoilery because, I haven't said anything. Well, I've tweeted about this a little bit, but I haven't really been like, yeah, everybody go watch this. So there's a lot of people who probably like, I don't even know what the fuck this is. Because there are certain things about the show I would say that it helps if you like it does and it doesn't. I mean, well, no, not does, it doesn't. Like, I was gonna say, what am I typing in? I'm typing in weird stuff right now. I would say there's certain things that if you're spoiled, it's like it's a dope thing to experience if you don't know. But even past that initial shock value of like the first couple of things that have happened that are like mind-blowing moments, it still helps. I don't think it takes away from like the show if you know. Because the thing that's actually what was funny was that, so I had not realized, okay, so basically one of the things that's pretty shocking about the show that they make pretty apparent pretty early on is that this shit is violent. It's made by the guy who did Walking Dead, right? So I guess it was like when I first started watching, I didn't look at any trailers, I didn't really look into it. And so I was just thrown off. Like it was just, it threw me off guard. Wait, what's the chat saying? Invincible is peak? What? 100%. 100%. I agree. I watched like, and I think when it first came out, there's already like 3 episodes or 2 episodes. There was a lot already out. I remember watching and I was just like, I don't want to say it's a masterpiece because it just started, but I'm like, it just felt like it had the makings. It felt like a show that's like, no, like this show knows what the fuck it's doing. And it knows it's good, right? Like it has that audacity. Like there's just certain things where you just know. You're just like, yeah. Like, isn't that crazy though that we can recognize that collectively? But yet, not everybody can create amazing, really good shit. But like somehow we can all collectively recognize, I don't know how to make good shit, but I know when I see it, you know? And that's my whole thing. That's my whole defense of criticism, right? Is that, a lot of times people will put across the argument of like, oh, well, who are you to criticize something if you can't do it yourself? Like, I'm not a professional NBA player, but if a guy goes for a free throw or a three-pointer and he misses, I'm like, well, that was trash. I don't need to be an NBA professional to know that, right? But it's all like circumstantial, it all depends on the circumstances. So no, it's not an anime. It's just a cartoon. So let me see. What I'm trying to do here, it's like it's always so weird accessing Amazon Prime on my computer because I usually am doing it through like a TV or something, and like the way that they order everything is so weird. So like I'm trying to figure out where are the videos at. It's like it's all over the place. Prime Video specifically. All right, Invincible. I don't really know about like. Let me see. Yeah, just take me to the thing. Yeah, okay, I watched 5 episodes. Excuse me. Incredibile. Put this over here. Also, wait, let me check one other thing. I'm going to have them on separate screens. Also, check one other thing. Okay, it's kind of like at this point, it's like, all right, y'all really be doing the most. But at the same time, I respect it. And what it is that ever since, it's just crazy that, oh, my thing is, hold on, echoing. I got Twitch open in a tab. It's crazy that Popeyes really made a impact on fast food culture for good. Everybody has every place has their own version of the Popeyes chicken sandwich. And McDonald's made one. And I'm just like, I'm eating it. Like, McDonald's already has the McChicken. And then they have this. Like, basically everyone's following the formula of getting pickles. And I don't know, is there a sauce in here? No, there is no sauce in there. It's just pickles, bread, and the chicken cooked a certain way. I don't know what they're doing, to be honest, but I was like, do I have a napkin? All right. Oh yeah. What are we watching? Okay. Well, we're not gonna like watch like it's not. This isn't a reaction. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm just gonna go through it. Okay. Let's see. Where does it start? But all right. I'm gonna give you guys some context here to just like break down this overall experience. Right. Reverse engineer what was going on. In fact, I don't even need audio because. At least not from the outset. Actually, I'm going to just mute it for me. Hold on. Let me open up my thing. So I won't be able to hear any of the audio. So let me know if it ends up sounding like shrouding on my voice or it's too loud or whatever. In fact, I'll even bring it down a little bit because it doesn't need to be turned out that high. Actually, hold on. If I turn it down, maybe I don't mind also hearing it. Shit is really loud though. Hold on. All right, that works. Cool. Okay. Let's see, how is it looking? I'm trying to display it on this screen here. Hold on. I don't know why my chat box is so big. Display capture. There we are. Okay. So yes, Amazon original. But all right. So to give you guys a bit of a hold on, I also need to enable it on here too. To give you guys a bit of a sort of like. Oh, and also, hold on. I'm literally tinkering with like a bunch of different settings for different scenes. So let me see. For this one, I had like this like cloud background. But like what I didn't like about it is it was like a 10-hour loop. And I'm just like, I just need the video to play. So I just made it a browser source instead. So it's just playing the window and then I can full screen it. But hold on. What I also should do, so they don't run into that issue of when I change scenes and I have to reset it. Wait, what is that? Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta, like, interact with the window. Where is the thing at? Right here, okay. Make sure that it's, yeah, why is that like that? Like, see this like the share thing? What is that? I'm trying to make that go away. Maybe I just descreen it and then full screen it again. Oh, I just can't hover over the share button when I close it out. All right, cool. But and then also what I'll do is under properties, check. No, I don't want to close the file when inactive. Loop. Oh, so it's already set to do this. Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing anyway. Here we go. Okay. Refresh browser when the scene becomes active. Shut down source and not visible. No, turn both of those off. Okay, wait, it reset though. Hold on. I need them heavenly clouds, you know? Cute. There you go. All right. Apologies for the delay. Actually, no apologies. Take that delay, nigga. All right, wait, let me see if I switch over now. So if I switch from here to here, yeah, I want it to keep going, basically. All right. Anyways, okay, so Invincible. So to take you back, take you on a journey here, right? And we're in the clouds, we're flying, take you on a journey. I was watching this show, and I was just like, okay, you know, it's made by Robert Kirkman, I think is his name. It's made by the creator of The Walking Dead, so it's probably gas. And it's like animated in like a DC cartoon. So I'm like, all right, it's probably got some good character storytelling or something. That's probably what it is. So I'll just watch it. You know, it's just like I'm kind of been burnt out from superhero cartoons, whatever. So I was like, whatever, I'll just watch it. Like I was just like I said, I was like high as shit. I'm just like I'm gonna just vibe and see what's going on. And then I was watching it and like the first thing that caught my eye was like, wow, like they are talking on a like collegiate level. Well, no, it's like the concept that they were talking about. It was like wow. This was a lot for my brain to process. I'm like, these are some really mature themes. Like, that was what I was realizing. I was like, this is not for kids. Like, if I was a child, there would be certain things that stand out to me, like, ooh, punchy, boo-hoo. But, like, This show is not meant for kids, bro. Like it would not because not like I'm not saying it's not meant for like because like literally it literally says hold on, it popped up. Well, okay, it says foul language, sexual content, like it's crazy. It's wilding out with these disclaimers, but no, like let's see, hold on, let me see. Oh no, see when I move my mouse, it moves it, but it does like the rated. It's rated 18 plus. Hold on, let me try it like this. There we go. Yeah, see, foul language, violent, sexual content. It's not a game out here, right? But okay, so like I was watching and like I'm not saying it's not for kids because of the sexual content or the violence or anything like that or any of the language. I'm saying it's not for kids in that like a kid would not know what the fuck they're talking about because even for me, I'm just like it's really like nuanced stuff. Like, so that was the first thing that caught my eye. In fact, let me see here. Let me see if I can like find a scene. Let me even turn on the subtitles that I'm talking about here. So, like, first of all, it was like, there were certain things like the characters would be, it's got subversion of expectations in this show, but in the good way, not in the Game of Thrones way, right? Like, it was like subversion in the way that there was a character where you're like, oh, this is the cliche, this character's gonna do this thing. And it wasn't like the character didn't play into a cliche, right? They could have still potentially had done something that was like, yeah, this is the trope, this is what happens. But it would do it in a way that you would accept, or that was realistic. Like, it would be like, it was accurate to my expectation, but it subverted enough of my expectation for me to feel like immersed in the experience. Like, it's not like winking at the audience, like how MCU does, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's one way of going about it. But it's like, being self-aware about where our suspension of disbelief stops and ends, and expertly navigating that field, right? Like that's like something like The Walking Dead would do, which is the same concept, is that they introduce enough for us to be like, yeah, okay, I can see how this is grounded in reality in a way that I can at least accept for entertainment purposes. And there's certain things that you're like, all right, that's not real. Because like the biggest thing that does this is in Walking Dead. Or not in Walking Dead. Well, but yes, and specifically in like but in Walking Dead and in the show, and the way that they handle the mortality of a character, right? Characters aren't just, but see, the show started to do this, and it started to deteriorate the quality, in my opinion. But what the show used to do, what Game of Thrones used to do, and what this show still does, is it's not afraid to mortally wound or even at times kill off its characters, but when it does it, it makes sense. Like, it serves the plot. It's not just for shock value, right? It serves a purpose. And it's just like, I feel like as a viewer, we want to look in a lens of a world that is not outside of our own, but that we can feel at least somewhat grounded and immersed in. It's like, at the end of the day, you know what I've learned? I've watched a lot of interviews and videos of people talking about what makes good movies, what makes good television. And at the end of the day, the thing that makes it good is character. It's always character. Like, character reigns king, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't matter how amazing your world is. It doesn't matter. Like, the character, if the character development is good, everything else will serve that. And that's not the only way of storytelling. Like, I've noticed that a lot of times you'll have these things that they're more geared around the world, but in that respect, the world is also a character, right? But it's just fleshing something out using other elements, so to speak, right? So, with Walking Dead, now some might say, oh, Walking Dead is really popular because people like zombies. But like, there's a lot of zombie stuff. There's been a lot of zombie stuff before The Walking Dead. There's a lot after. So it's like, yeah, zombies does add to the appeal. But at the end of the day, the reason why people liked Walking Dead was because of the characters and the writing of those characters. Even when the plot was stupid, if the character writing within the plot was good, it made up for it. That's why people liked fucking Game of Thrones. And for some reason, the showrunners didn't understand that, and they thought, you know what we need to make the show better? We need to just kill niggas for no reason, and we need more dragons. But, like, clearly that didn't work. Clearly we wanted to see these characters, and clearly, regardless of how beautiful the latest seasons of that show was, and how cool everything looked, because they sacrificed the characters to serve that, it made the opposite thing happen. It had the opposite effect, right? Like when they had that one scene with the Dothraki riding out into the White Walkers and they all just disappeared, that looked cool. But it made no fucking sense, so it was stupid from that respect. So you can't even appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like it's all there's a term for this. Like it's like there's no substance to it. Like it's all flash, right? But at the end of the day, a good fight, it doesn't matter how good it is. And you know this, like it doesn't matter how good it is. A mediocre fight with more of a backstory will have more weight. I'd rather watch a jump cut clusterfuck of a fight that is poorly edited, but like there's emotional weight behind it, rather than watch John Wick run through a whole building for 2.5 hours and just shoot shit up. Don't get it twisted. There's a time and place for that. That's enjoyable to watch. But we can all admit that the first John Wick was always the better one because he was killing with a purpose. He was trying to avenge his wife, or not avenge his wife, avenge his dog that his wife gave him. But then in the continuous, the subsequent films, now it's just like, it still looks as cool as the original, but there's no like strong motivation behind it. He's just kind of killing niggas now just because, right? So it's like, it still looks great, but like the first John Wick will always be the best because of that, because they had character driving the story with a bunch of gun fu. Now it's just gun fu without the character, without the story that we're invested in. It's just like, it's just milking off of the original thing, which, I mean, the John Wick movies are still dope. I enjoy watching them. But like that's just obvious, right? And that's also what happened with The Walking Dead, is that the show went on for so long and they stopped adapting the source material. And the thing about when you stop adapting the source material is that now you're not adapting good character development that somebody else already created for you. Now you're trying to build your own character development through scratch. And then it starts to be less about you adapting something and more of you just writing a show. And the thing is that writing a show is not the same as adapting some source material that's really good because the source material is really good. Like, if you're going to adapt some source material, adapt the source material, because you're going to not please both. It doesn't even matter if your writing is good. This is why people complain about Star Wars, right? Like The Last Jedi, for example. The Last Jedi actually isn't a badly written movie. It's actually, it's a pretty good written movie. There's some plot holes, but like most of the plot holes they exist outside of the movie itself. The problem with the Star Wars Last Jedi movie wasn't that the writing was bad, it just wasn't accurate to Star Wars, because you're not adapting source material, but you're adapting a universe, right? And so when you're adapting a universe, you have to follow its rules. The moment you try to break its rules, or you try to rewrite the source material that you're adapting to fit your own writing style in a way that doesn't work because you're not the original writer, like it's almost like it's a double-edged sword. The better written a story is, the easier it is to fuck it up, because not anybody can clearly write this. It's one of a kind. And like that's what you want though, because that's how you get the best shit, right? And so with this Invincible show, this is adapting a comic, if I'm not mistaken. So what I would hope that they do is that they just adapt the comics. Or maybe at least, well, see, the best part is that this show is, I'm pretty sure, show run by the original creator. So honestly, he can do whatever the fuck he wants because it's his. He's the author, like he's the writer. I think he understands his material. You would hope. You would hope we don't have a J.K. Rowling circumstance, right? Typically, the creator knows how to fucking write their source material that they created and be consistent with that. That begs the question, when you have someone like J.K. Rowling who wrote Harry Potter and then can't seem to reproduce that, it's just like, was that a fluke? Did someone ghostwrite for you? What's going on? You know? It's just like lightning in a bottle, you know, but it doesn't strike twice. It's like, you just got lucky. You just happen to like tune into that frequency that everybody fucked with, but it's not something you can re-access at will. I don't know. Maybe some people, they just get lucky, or some people are just gotten it like that. But anyways, I digress. Invincible, right? It's one of those shows where like you can tell it has a singular vision. It's written with a particular mentality in mind, and I fuck with that. I fuck with what they're trying to do. And so now at this point, the only way that it's gonna not be good to me, the only way, that's how you know that something's gonna be a masterpiece or something's gonna be really good to you, at least. Like, it only takes a couple of episodes to watch, because if what I'm recognizing is like a consistency of writing and vision. So I can tell, you can just feel it. It's hard to explain. You could feel it when you're watching a show like this, where you're like, okay, this is one person's singular vision, and they're out there and they're setting out to do something. And that's why, that's another one of the criticisms that people have had towards like the Snyderverse, right? Is that with the Snyderverse movies, you can acknowledge its flaws, but you at least know that it's Zack Snyder. Like, if anything, honestly, it's like at this point, if you go in to see a Zack Snyder film, Zack Snyder, you can tell he's always trying to do something with his film. What word am I trying to looking for? His cinematography, just the way he does film. He has a certain way about doing it. And like what I notice is that it's almost like he does like some type of like social commentary or some type of like analytical through a socio-political lens. Like when he did Watchmen, it was like like a lot of people say it wasn't necessarily accurate. It was like the way that Zack Snyder interfaced with Watchmen. Like what you have to understand is that now, okay, so with Zack Snyder, the issue that people have is when he's adapting. Once again, he's adapting source material in his own style. But at least when he does it, well, actually no, this isn't the case. What you would like is that, okay, if this is an alternate version of this universe, then at least make it be consistently this alternate version. So like for some people who are fucking with Snyder's version, his adaptation of the DC characters, you know, I don't think he was trying to make it as accurate. I was like thinking he wanted to do his own version. If they're a fan of those characters and these aren't their characters, then I can understand why they personally wouldn't be a fan of that. That doesn't mean that it's a bad film. It's just not for them. And I mean, they could be bad too. But the thing is that I feel like in Snyder's case, it was just not for everybody. And so what ends up happening is then they try to make changes, and now it's not an inconsistent vision. And that's why people were trying to have the Snyderverse being brought back. I don't even think everybody who wanted the Snyder cut actually thought the movie was going to be good. They just wanted to respect the artistic integrity of sticking to a singular vision. Because at least with Zack Snyder, even if he doesn't do what you want him to do, you at least feel like he's at least doing something. He at least cares. It might not be in your direction where he's going, but he's going in a direction, and you can at least respect that. You can respect somebody who at least, like, it's like, because at the end of the day, art is in the eye of the beholder. I think what's more insulting than art that you don't personally resonate with is the lack there of attempt at all, right? I feel like with Zack Snyder, I think that he sees himself as an artist. He's passionate about what he does, and it might not be something that we personally enjoy or think is good or like or resonate with, but at least you can respect that he cares and he's trying, and that he's not just putting out cash grab explosion movies that will sell well in China, right? So I think that's what it is that people respect about it, and respect about just like this type of storytelling, this type of writing. And that's what I think also makes Invincible really good, is that even if you didn't like it, you could at least acknowledge its objective attempt at quality. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel anyways. Like, for people who criticize Attack on Titan, I feel like the criticisms that I can understand is, like, you can say, that didn't do it for me. But, like, if you were to say, yeah, this is just trash, like, it's just, like, not, like, the person, the artist, it's like this person didn't even try. Like, because for me, I can see, like, I can be like, oh, this is really good. I personally don't care. I personally don't like it, but it's really good. Like, I can, like, listen to a genre of music and be like, wow, this person is really good. But I might not like that kind of music. Just because I don't like that kind of music doesn't mean it's bad. I'm not going to be like, this sucks. I'm just like, it's not for me, right? Movies are the same way. Just because you don't like a movie doesn't mean it's bad. Now, don't get it twisted. There are some shitty movies. There's some shitty music, right? They're both able to exist. But let's see. So, like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. So this guy, this is actually an interesting concept. This alien dude right here. Okay, well, this isn't really a spoiler. It's like, it's something that happened in the first episode, but it's not really a spoiler. I'll give you guys a disclaimer when I start to get into spoilers, but just overall, like, talking about just general concepts. But, like, this guy, so what's interesting with him is that he clones himself. Like, excuse me. He clones himself, and the clone is such a perfect clone. Like, he clones his brain into it that the clone doesn't even realize that it's a clone. And they both think that they're a real person, but they're also, like, both like thinking that they made the clone, so they're like working with each other, and it's just it's fascinating. But this is literally like just like the beginning. I was like, okay, there's a big blue nigga fighting people. Like, I didn't really think much of it.
I am the original.
See, he's like, I'm the original, and they be arguing and shit. I don't even remember what was happening here. It was just like, so this is like basically this series version of like the Justice League. It's just like they got like a flag. Like, literally, it's almost like it's almost like they were foreboding what was gonna happen, because, like, I would say this is similar to, without spoiling, this is similar to, it is and isn't similar in some ways to The Boys. This is like the animated version of The Boys, right? It's like, it subverts your expectations of, like, this is what you would expect from a traditional superhero show, and then it turns that and it flips it on its head. But it also does it in a way that you're like, yeah, if this was real, I could see this being the case, right? But it's like, they introduce a concept. Look at, like, even if they got, look at this knockoff ass Batman. Hold on. High standards, bro. Bro, okay, if you haven't watched, just watch, you know what I'm saying. If you have watched, then you know what I'm saying. But so yeah, they got their Batman knockoff, they got their Wonder, look, here we go. Oh, wait, okay. Wait, go back a little bit. So I guess this is like, obviously, you know, that guy's like, well, I don't know, this guy's supposed to be a knockoff. He's just the strong man, right? So maybe like the Hulk or something. So yeah, here they all are right here.
The building is clear.
Yeah, let's see.
It's just
Okay, so you got, look, so you see, when you put it all out, you see what I mean? So, okay, look, all right, obviously, look, okay, Fish, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, this is like a Martian, Manhunter, Flash, I don't know, Flying Bitch, Batman, Superman, so a Hulk or something, right? But yeah, so it's like,
just us.
Evacuation complete. Now we can cut loose and
it's like, you can tell they're like, you know, it's pretty on the nose. And at first when I saw that, I didn't really take it seriously. So this is interesting. So like, the main, like the Superman guy, right? So this is the main character. This is Invincible, and he's like, at first I was like, oh, this is gonna be some sky high shit, because he starts out and he doesn't have his powers, and like normally it kicks in, it would have kicked in by now. So he's like a late bloomer, and so I was like, okay, this is gonna be something where like he's gonna end up either, I don't know if he's gonna like, I think it helps that I didn't look up anything for this. I just started watching, so I'm like, okay, is he gonna end up not having powers, or is it gonna be like, oh, he's gonna like, you're gonna think he doesn't have powers and he's gonna get them at the last minute, but he's gonna learn what it means to be a hero without powers. And no, none of that. He just gets the powers, and then it's like, oh shit, finally. And then they're like, all right, time to be a superhero. But yeah, bro, these niggas be horny, bro. These two. So this is his mom, the guy's wife. I don't know how. So okay. Here's something I'm legitimately confused on. I'm legitimately confused on this, and if someone in the chat understands this more, but like the way that they handle secret identities is interesting. Because, so like at first, this guy doesn't wear a costume, so I'm like, okay, like it's obvious, like anybody can see that this is his dad and figure out who he's related to, right? And then you have some people who, people just talk about it like they know that they're a superhero, or then you have some people where like, oh, because no, here's the excuse that they used. Here, I remember this. Here's the justification that they used. It was something like, oh, people just think, oh, we look alike, but they don't automatically, they don't expect to see the superhero in person, so they just assume that we look really close together, which I guess is an adequate excuse, but like, I'm like, has no one ever saw you fly away from your driveway or something? You know what I mean? I don't know. Hold on, I think I just got, yeah, shout out to, what is this? How do you say your name? Chasen42 for the 5,000 bits, and also I think I got another one from Chasen again, the 1100. So thanks for the 6,100 bits. And yeah, for everybody who subscribed, welcome. But anyways, so yeah, so that was gonna be Sky High. It ended up not being Sky High. This guy's like, oh my god, my parents are so horny. Let me see. So yeah, they had the typical. They had like this was different too. But see, okay, they subvert the expectations in a unique way. All right. So like this is just the first episode, so it's like, yeah, it's like spoiling, but like it's not like a plot point. Like I'm not gonna spoil any major plot points. These are just little cute things that happen throughout the show that was just like, all right, I see what y'all are doing. So like, okay, so this is like that typical, like, you can already see what's going on here. I'm sure you can already see what's going on here if you haven't watched this. You have like the Peter Parker scenario. It's like, okay, he doesn't have super strength, but like he's probably gonna get like what you're expecting when you watch this is like, all right, he's probably gonna get super strength during this fight, or maybe he already has it and like he hasn't had it before, and he's gonna get the bully back, which that kind of happens at one point, but not really. It's like, it's sort of, it teases that kind of scenario, but then ends up not doing it. So, and then you have the typical, obviously, you know, like, typical where it's like the, Flash Thompson type thing. They gotta give him the blonde hair, right? And, but what's funny is that, like, instead of him getting a one-up on the bully, and, like, he's, like, bothering this girl, and he, like, stands up for the girl, and the girl ends up kicking his ass. And, like, also, I gotta respect that, like, this is something that it's not that noticeable until you see it done. Or not done, rather. And what I mean by that is, like, it stands out. So this girl, her name is Amber. Amazing written character. And she is a Nubian queen, okay? Dark skin, rocking that shit, just over here being like, yeah, fuck out of here, I'm my own woman. You didn't say shit to me. I don't need no man. You know, she said, get off me. You know, see, she be talking her shit, bro. But like, so yeah, Amber, African queen. I love her. She's great. But like every character is like, they have like their own writing. Like none of them are perfect. They all have flaws, like character flaws. But like they're all like, even some characters where you're like, this character is a villain. But then you're also kind of like, you kind of understand, you know? Like, even characters, they will literally have villains that are only on, that are, like, so here's the thing that, another thing that, I feel like it takes, like, expert writing to be able to do this. Like, it takes guts to do this, basically, right? Is that this show will write a character really well and fucking kill them, like, in the same episode, or in 2 episodes. And then you're like, oh, shit, because, you know, that's what it really is, right? You care when a character dies when they've been fleshed out, because you connect to that character. But if it's some characters like, oh, they just show up and then they die, then you're like, okay, whatever. But this character, they'll be like, hey, look at this character, yeah. They'll have little teasers. You don't know who's gonna survive and who's gonna be an actual character you can bond with, or who's a character that's just gonna, like, yeah, like, oh, like, here's this character that, like, you like him, you like him, you like him. It's like, what the fuck? but I respect that. It feels real. It's grounded. It's like no one's safe. There's no plot armor, you know. But so that's basically the thing that's like, whatever. But like the thing that happens though. So, but what is a beautiful thing about this is, so when I'm watching this show, I'm always like, oh shit, right? Like, so there's this scene where the main guy, Invincible, I don't know his actual name. I think it's like his name is like fucking Dick Grayson or some shit. Mark Grayson, I think. And so like there's like the scene where he's like flying around like the plane. I was like, oh, he's going to kill. Oh no, he's gonna crash. He's gonna crash into the plane, and it's gonna cause this. He's gonna kill everybody. Because this show, it was like it wasn't pulling any punches. I don't know if it was around this episode. This is the first episode, so like there's not the first moment like that till the end of this episode. So I don't think I was thinking that in this part. But the next time he was flying around your plane, I was like, oh no, who's gonna die, right? So, but yeah, you have this guy, and like he like his dad, like you could tell he's not perfect, you know, he's not the best. Like, well, I wouldn't say that means objective. Like you could tell he's trying his best. Like you could tell he's genuinely trying to be the best dad that he can be, right? And sometimes he's an asshole, but you can tell he doesn't mean to be an asshole. He just doesn't know better. Or he just doesn't like. He's trying his best to like connect with everybody in the way he wants to connect with them. There's more to it than that. It's really complex. I can't explain it. Once again, this is the kind of thing that I don't want to spoil, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting, and it's just like it's got you going to be like, it's going to leave you being like, I have to watch now because what the fuck is going on with this show, right? So basically, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's how vague I'm gonna get. Is that this show has this underlying feeling of like, what the fuck? And so you keep watching for that reason. So like it'll be like a regular ass show, but there's always that like that atmosphere hanging in the background of you just being like, you're like paranoid. You're like waiting for some fuckery to happen because it's just like always around the corner. It reminds me of another medium that did this really well was Doki Doki Literature Club. Doki Doki Literature Club, they would start doing weird shit, and then every time something happened, you're always like niggas would just be talking. You're like, what are you saying right now? What does this mean? You know, you just like then everything is like, what's going on? What's going on? Someone will be like smiling. You're like, you know, it's just it's constantly got you like on your edge of your seat, and you're looking at everything. You're just waiting. You're just waiting for all hell to break loose. You know what I mean? But it's like it's complicated though. There's literally I don't think there's a single character where I was like, oh, that's a villain, right? Every single character, even like some random villain that's there for one episode, like it's like you're like you understand. Like there's context that makes sense. There are no bad guys. There's even some parts where you see something, you're like you watching the show, and you're like, oh, this is a bad guy, and then it's like, oh, they're actually not. Like literally, there's one scene where it's actually this guy, and he's like, Invincible's like, you're a criminal. He's like, bro, you don't even know what that means. I'm not a criminal. I got bills to pay. I got people to take care of. Like it's interesting. But like this guy, he goes out of his way to like not hurt people, right? So like he clearly is just like doing a job because he has to, but like he doesn't actually want to like do any harm and stuff like that. But once again, there's more to it than that too. But like literally like see every character. That's what I'm saying, bro. So they have basic stuff like okay, you know, basic superhero training, debauchery and all that nonsense, yada yada yada. Bro, oh the way that they showcase the flying in this show is so unique. It's almost like he doesn't just fly around. He doesn't fly like Superman. He doesn't just like boom, bounce from corners and shit. Maybe he can eventually learn how to fly that way. So maybe he just flies like this because he's new to it. But he flies like Spider-Man swings. If that makes any sense. There's like he has to like shift his momentum to like fly in a way that like it makes sense with like the laws of physics in a way. Like it's almost like swimming, or it's like he's propelling off of his feet, and so he's flying to accommodate that. So maybe eventually he'll be able to fly. Like I'm pretty sure. I don't think his dad flies like this. Like eventually he'll be able to just propel himself from every part of his body, but you could tell it's like more coming out of his feet, and so he's basically just flying off of his feet. Somebody who says they were born on the wrong side, we're born on the right side. I feel. Hold on. And I was just showing him all these moving parts, right? It would have been fine if the show just had a really crazy written story, right? But like it's also animated really well. The voice acting is really good. It's just there's all these components that come together, bro. You have this guy who he's the guy with the flash powers, and he can't. He's like he gets bored. He's like this this playboy, right? Because he has so much time that he can just spend on like all these girls without like even them noticing a lot of the times. Or like he gets bored of girls really easily because they talk so like to him them talking is so slow. So he's just so he can't be interested in anybody because like it takes them so long to like communicate with them. So it's interesting concepts. You know what I mean? You can't see things how I do. Wait, this is what he says. My perception is just as fast as I am. The briefest conversation with anyone seems like hours to me. It's agony, bro. And she's like, nigga. Her feelings, bro. But with you, it's a gift. Lies. You just be saying that shit, bro. But yeah, so that's interesting. Like literally, I'm telling you, bro. All it takes is a couple of episodes. Every little thing. I don't remember what's happening in this scene, but like, there's like crazy stuff that ends up happening by the end of this episode. So I would say just watch that first episode. Honestly, the biggest jaw drop moment is in the first episode, in my opinion. And then after that, then it's like, it doesn't really matter. So like, it doesn't really matter if you already been told what's happening. So like, what I will say is for you guys to go and watch this show, and then, but yeah, see, like you can even see on the scene right here of just like, it's a gory ass. Wait, let me full screen it. It's a gory ass show, bro. Look at this. Look at this, bro. He's like, what the fuck? That's not burger meat. That's people meat, by the way. Look at this, bro. What? They be tripping for no reason. So let me see. Let me see if I can show what I can show that I feel like isn't like a heavy spoiler. But yeah, you have this guy, bro. Hold on. Let's see. They're gonna show him. Damien Darkblood, bro. Hold on. This dude is like kind of. He reminds me of what was that guy's name from the DC Comics? Like he's it's his name is like Etrigan something. But it's like a dude that like turned into a demon. Now this guy, I don't know if he was turned into a demon or if he was always a demon, but he's like sent from hell to be a fucking detective. Like it's looking like that's the cutest shit I ever heard. That's adorable, bro. But he's a real nigga, bro. He's a character. That's the best way to put it. He's a whole ass character with his own motivations and development, and he's fleshed out. And it's funny because you would think, well, no, this is a spoiler, but like there's like certain things where like you're like, oh, okay, this is what's gonna happen. Or this is what this character is going to do. And then it doesn't do the exact opposite because it's like, that's easy, right? It does like, it's like, if the option is A or B, this show chooses C. This is like the C timeline. It's like, there's like, this is how things would go good, and this is how things would go bad, and then there's Invincible. That's just somewhere in between, right? And like, so you never know. You're not like, it's like, am I watching a show where everything goes right, or am I watching a show where everything goes good? Sometimes I'm watching one, sometimes I'm watching the other. And it flips between the two. So it's just like, you go into the show with no expectations, right? Bro, okay, these guys right here. This is like, okay, there's this like alien race that invades, and their like, there's just shit like, they didn't need to do this. Like, it didn't need to be this complicated. There's this alien race, and their perception of time is faster than their timeline. So they have to basically put on equipment that allows them to survive in this timeline. If you disable the equipment, they start to rapidly age and die by just existing in this dimension. Like they're from a different dimension. And every time they're defeated, they disappear, like they vanish, like to recover. And like every time that they come back, they're like, it's like decades have passed for them. So like they're all older, and like you can see like this guy right here, he has a scar from the last time he was here, and he got a cut. And now he's like, and then he was just like a random grunt, and then he comes back, and now he's like a general, and he has this like battle scar, right? And it's been like years, so it's just like, it's just all types of interesting concepts that they be exploring in the show. And this is crazy because at the same time, with all this realistic, gritty stuff, there's just like people just have like these most colorful ass costumes. Like it's just like this is a colorful ass show. That's what threw me off. I saw the colors. And I was just like, come on, look how colorful and happy this show is. Look at this, bro. This is a fucking rainbow. This is gonna be all fun and games, right? But it's like this is a universe where superheroes are just commonplace, and it's just like, and it just makes sense. Like it's not like, whoa, superheroes, like there aren't that many of these. It's just like this is just a thing. I think there's different alien races and different powers and all this stuff, and it's just a common thing that exists in this world. But oh man, there's just so many good things. So you're gonna forget. This is kind of a spoiler, but you're gonna forget without me elaborating. But like this, the Urath scene, if you know, you know. See, like, bro, like the fact that I even talk about this show like this, and there's only been 5 episodes. Man, there's just so much, bro. Like literally, this is the one show where like when it comes out, I drop everything and I watch it. Like this is gonna be the next. And I know it's like it's different in the fact that it's like it's an animated thing, but it's like it's not an anime and it's not a live action show. But this is gonna be the next, in my opinion. I'm saying this, so we'll see. My prediction holds true, and that's why I want to jump on this bandwagon because I want to lead the charge. I want to pilot this train of hype because this show I can tell is gonna be great, and I want to be able to say I told you so, nigga. Okay, but yeah, it's like it's on Game of Thrones levels. It's on. Ooh, I was about to say it was on Attack on Titan levels too, but that's pretty sacrilegious. I feel like it hasn't earned that yet. I mean, I can't speak on the comics, so maybe it is, but I'm just going based off of what I've seen from the show so far. I don't know if it's on Attack on Titan levels, but if it gets there, I wouldn't be surprised. That's how much I'm hyping it up, all right? So pushing it too early? No, see, this is the perfect time to push it. You want to push it early because that shows that you were on that shit before. Because when it becomes hype, then it's just like, okay, now you're just jumping on the hype. But like I, from the first episode, noticed, and I want that to be on record, you know? Like, not that many people are talking about this right now, at least from what I've seen. I don't know. I live in my own little bubble, right? But from what I've seen so far, I'm like, this is it. This is it, bro. Just keep going. Like, and it's funny because everybody, and the reason why I also know this is that whenever I talk about it, people are like, this is, you haven't seen nothing yet. And I've seen a lot, nigga. So I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what could this be? Right? And it's just like one of those things where you can tell. It's not like what a lot of times anime runs into. It's just like, all right, but is it the whole thing going to be animated? Or is it's like, no, like this is being done by niggas with money. This shit is getting done. This shit is getting made. And so long as it's good, people will keep watching. They'll keep making more. And the original writer is writing it. So you don't have to worry about creative control being taken away from the original vision because that's literally the person in charge. Oh my, perfect. Why doesn't everyone do this? Why the fuck does everyone do this? This is literally what happened wrong with Game of Thrones. They stopped listening to the writer. How you gonna listen to the nigga that invented this shit? How you gonna tell the person who wrote something, who created something, oh no, we're not gonna do that? Well, then it won't work. People like it because it's what he did, not what you did. How, like, this just bothers me. It's like, what makes you think you know better? Nigga, like, you didn't invent this. You are just the messenger, okay? This is not your message. Do your job and translate. Imagine being a translator and not just translating verbatim what the person said, and they try to throw their own personality. It's just like, that's not what that nigga said. That's what you're saying. So shut the fuck up and tell me the story. You know, I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm passionate about that because it's a frustrating thing to see. But this show looks like it's going to be there. I hate to be like, I don't want to like hype things, you know, because, you know, as we've seen, like literally there's just like this record of hyping shit and it's just trash, right? But for me, I'm not just hyping something without substance. I literally, it's like there's enough here to where it's just like, if it ends up like, I'll take the L. If this ends up not being good, I will be very surprised, bro. I'd be like, wait, you have the original creator of the source material that's already critically acclaimed and popular working on it, and so far it shows no signs of slowing down or of getting crazier or of getting better. That looks like a pretty sure hit. Like if I'm a betting man, I would bet on this. I would invest in Invincible stock. Might I add also that the official Invincible Twitter retweeted my tweet. So I'm already, you know, an Invincible ambassador, stamp of approval. But anyways, yeah. Definitely recommend. I think that's all I'm going to really get into right now. I want you guys to go out and watch this show. So then we all know, and I don't have to like, you know, jump around specific topics, and we could just really get into this and really talk about this because there's just so much crazy stuff that you have to spoil to talk about. So I'm just going to end off and just saying to like, just go watch this show and then come back, reconvene, like it's 5 episodes right now, you will watch it all in one sitting, bro. Like I don't know how I have to prove this to you. If you have the time, you won't even think you're going to. You're gonna be like, all right, oh, he says I'm gonna watch it all in one sitting. Like I'm telling you, bro. Even if you're like, I'm not gonna watch it all. I mean, if you're gonna really like go out of your way to not do it, but like you're gonna think, I'm probably just gonna watch 1 or 2, whatever. Heavenly says I'm gonna watch them all. Okay, we'll see. I'm gonna watch like the first episode, and then next thing you know, you're gonna be 5 episodes later with 2 bags of open Doritos in each hand, and be like, this nigga was right. And then you'll be like, oh wow, he really never misses. Right again. So yeah, man. Invincible is that wave, bro. It's that shit. The comic is pretty good. Yeah, on Amazon Prime, so that's what you need if you want to watch it. Glad I got a reason to watch Amazon. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Amazon, it's always got at least, like, there's always that, like, it's back and forth. Amazon will go from having seemingly nothing to watch, and then they'll just come out with the greatest thing ever. Like, Invincible, or The Boys. I'm trying to think. There's at least one other really good Amazon Prime original show that I've watched that like had multiple good seasons though. Like there's some shows that I liked the first season and then it kind of just waned afterwards. Like Marvelous Miss Maisel, I really liked the first season. I could never get myself to finish the second season. And Sneaky Pete, that's another Amazon original that's actually pretty good. That one's at 2 seasons, I want to say. That's it. Like that show's like pretty insane. So yeah, amazing show. Every character is great. There's someone in it for everybody. I feel like the latest episode, I fucks with that guy, bro. Like, you know, yeah, bro, definitely do it. Yeah, I did watch WandaVision, actually. I don't know if I would go into an in-depth discussion about that. Maybe I will. I mean, honestly, let me know if you guys want to hear me talk about that, but it's already came and went, so I don't know if, like, that's, like, so niche. And I really, like, it's not that I don't care, but I was just like, it was the thing. It was cool, whatever. Falcon and Winter Soldier has also been interesting as well, too. I don't know if I care enough for how popular it is to talk about it. Like for example, sometimes I'll talk about an anime on my channel that like I'm like, yeah, I care a little bit, but if other people didn't care, then I probably wouldn't. I can still enjoy something on my own by just watching it. Like I don't need to have other people interfacing with it or just talk about every little thing. But if people want to hear it, then sure I do. But if you want my TLDR. WandaVision had a really interesting start. It was experimental. I wouldn't have watched further if other people who hadn't already watched it didn't say, oh, keep watching it gets weirder. And then the middle half was like mind-blowing. Like I was like, oh shit, oh this show is going there. And then the end was kind of like they had really built up a really large expectation to me because they were seemingly being very, very interesting with where they were going with the show. And then it kind of just turned into a Marvel show at the end, if that makes any sense. Like it kind of just had a Marvel ending. You're like, all right, like everything was kind of just wrapped up in a neat little bow, kind of. But like there was a lot of stuff like that show almost it baited the audience into thinking it was going to do more or be more than it actually was, and it actually turned out to be a lot more straightforward at the end. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, honestly I've been enjoying that one better than WandaVision. I feel like that show, it's really just focusing in on the character writing, and bro, hands down best character of Falcon and Winter Soldier, John Walker I think his name is, like that character, chef's kiss. And now I know a lot of you are thinking, if you've watched the show, why would you like that character? But like, exactly, like that character, I don't hate the character. I don't think the character is evil, but it's just a well-written character, bro. Like it's like the Joffrey kind of thing, but he's not Joffrey. It's just a similar thing. Like apparently the actor for that guy had to delete his social media because people were harassing him for playing a character. But it's just like, if anything, that's a flex. I take that as a flex. If your acting is so good that people start to like not like you in real life, and your job as a character was to have people not like you, if anything, that means like that. Take that as a compliment. You're clearly doing your job. That's how good the character is. Like we believe that shit, right? And some people, they like literally translate that over to the actual person. And you know, it's a blessing and a curse, right? If you play a really nuanced, a very morally complex character, then you have a result. You run the risk of people always making that association with you. But from an artistic standpoint, it's just like you love to hate or hate to love that character. You're almost just like the fact that this character is making me feel any type of way, any strong emotion, like that's props, right? That's a W on its own. So yeah, like because this show really has you being like, damn, I don't know who the bad guy is. I don't know who to justify. Like, because I don't justify that. It's like literally, it's crazy if it's like a show that's political, because it's literally like, this is how politics is. It's like, well, I agree with that thing that he's saying, but I don't agree with that thing that he's saying. And I don't agree with that thing that he's saying, but I do agree with that thing that he's saying, right? So it's just like, it's not black and white. That's the best way to put it. The show is very morally gray, and it really challenges the viewer to question and to truly just like figure out like, whose side are we supposed to be taking here? And honestly, that's the best question to ask in any form of media, in my opinion. I feel like if you write something well enough, there are no bad guys. There's just different groups of people with different perspectives and motivations and lives, and watching those just come and collide together, and not necessarily even knowing who to side with, but just watching and being like, this is like, stuff is happening, this is crazy, right? And I feel like we really connect with that. Like, if we can connect with where every character is coming from, we can experience those emotions that they're feeling as well, because we're able to vicariously like connect with that kind of thing, right? So, yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier. I feel like it's one of those things to where I won't really start gassing it up until it's over, if it's really gonna stay as good as it's been, right? But it could also just pull a WandaVision and then it just ends in some bullshit. And then you're just like, all right, that was cute, but like, I was expecting a little bit more, but whatever, right? So, you know, I'm optimistic about that. But yeah, watch Invincible. Show's crazy. But yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier is pretty good. WandaVision is pretty good. Oh yeah, you're right. The new season of My Hero is out now. I'm gonna react to that for sure. Probably gonna be like batches of episodes at a time. So stay tuned. I'm gonna stream that probably eventually. We'll get around to everything eventually. You know, it's not going anywhere. It'll be here when we're ready for it. Did I see the mid-season trailer? The ending from the trailer got me hyped. Mid-season trailer. For what? For Attack on Titan, or? First episode is a catch-up episode, like a recap? Okay. So yeah, Chainsaw Man. You know what? Listen, how about this? We'll have another stream where we talk about all this stuff, you know, because it seems like there's a lot of little things that people wanted me to, like, talk about and, like, look at maybe. So if there's some type of trailer that you guys want me to see, or some type of topic, like, because like with some of this stuff, it's like, all right, this isn't even like a thing yet, but if you want to hear what my thoughts are about it, you know, I can do that. Episodes 1 and 2 of My Hero feel like filler. All right, well, I'm probably still gonna make a video on it, but that's why what I usually do when that happens is that I don't want to not react to the show, but if it's like not like really progressing the story very quickly, what I'll instead end up doing is just like, I'll just like take a day and watch just like 5 at a time, you know? All right, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about today. So I'll be back tomorrow to stream whatever we end up getting around to. We might be reacting to something. We might be playing a game. I'm also going to start not reacting to, but uploading more gameplay videos. Like, they're literally going to be like VODs, just cut down to like the basics. Like, it's not going to be like anything wild, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm sad I missed this stream. And then in my head, I'm just like, all right, well, who really cares about this stream? But I'm like, hey, for those who do care, I'm gonna put it out there. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't, because I know some people, they are subscribed to me for anime, and that's okay. You don't need to watch the gaming stuff if it's not for you. But if you are into that stuff, it'll be there as well, right? You're gonna have something for everybody. This is Disneyland. There's a ride for the kids. There's a ride for the adults. We're all good, right? Yeah, this is going to YouTube. Say hi to them in the chat. You know, they're gonna see all you niggas. They're gonna be like, oh, look at these sexy ass stream viewers, bro. WWW. Yeah. No, I haven't finished Black Clover, but I'm not adverse to the idea of catching up to it. I just, once again, add that to the list of things to get around to. All right, yeah. W's in the chat. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. But yeah, we're gonna have a swell time in the foreseeable near future. I'm going to, like I said this on my YouTube stream. I didn't say this on my Twitch stream, but I'm going to be in Orlando this weekend, so I don't know if this video will even come out in time. We'll see. I'll probably just like not even edit this, just drag and drop it, to be honest. But I am going to be from April 15th to the 19th. Well, we'll say the 16th to the 18th more accurately, because the 15th to the 19th is when I'm coming in and coming out. I'm going to be in Orlando, and I'm going to like potentially sell tickets to an event that I'm going to have there. So if you guys want to hang out with me, live my lifestyle, meet me, then like just stay tuned on my social media. I'll probably post it on Instagram. Like, it's like a last minute thing, so I don't expect anybody to go out of the way or anything like that, just if it's convenient for you. And if it's not that ridiculous and like too many people who don't like, it's like one or the other. What's going to happen is if enough people actually pull through, then I'll have an event. And if enough people don't pull through, then I probably won't charge and we'll just hang out with whoever shows up. So even if you think, okay, I mean, it's not going to be anything that nobody can afford anyways. But either way, you know, there's also a possibility you could roll through and there aren't really that many people. And then it'll just be like me and like a bunch of hoes in a mansion and 3 or 4 of my friends and you. We'll just chill. We'll figure something out. But while I'm out there, I want to vlog. I want to make content. So that's another thing I'm going to be doing. And so I just wanted to create an environment in which just like, you know, people want to do dope shit and do dope shit. So if you guys want to come along for that, like literally, like it's not too late. Get the flight. Pull up. I don't know. But this guy said, ooh, hoes. All right. But yeah, I'm going to go offline for now, but I'm going to go live again tomorrow. Stay tuned for all that shit. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all.